What's up, guys? This video is going to be kind of like a continuation from the last video. In the last video, I showed y'all how to re-clear, or my process of re-clearing carbon fiber or any body part really. But I showed you this list last time. This last video, I only got through prepping the wing and re-clearing it. I didn't even get to any of these other ones. So with that being said, I'm gonna continue these on this video. I'm also I don't have the wing on the car right now because I haven't actually put the stands on the wing yet. So I'll try to get that done today as well. I'll throw the wing together, get it lined up. I'll probably try to drill the holes today too, just so I can mount the whole wing together. And I will also be doing the valve cover fittings, the AN fittings, like I mentioned last video. I just didn't have enough time to get all those done, but that's what I'm gonna start with today. I'm gonna start with working on these fittings, and then depending on what Jason's doing, I'm gonna go head over there and get my wing and put it together and get that mounted. And then from there, if I have any more time, then I'll go down this list and start doing stuff like wrapping the mid pipe and replacing the coolant reservoir and all that, rerouting the throttle cable, all that stuff. So with that being said, I'm gonna start working on these fittings here. I got them over here, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I got the temporary valve cover, blow by, whatever you want to call it. So in place of the catch can. This was looped right down in here, and I guess it was leaking. I didn't know it, but it was leaking a little bit. I guess when I got up in boost, it just seeped on through a little bit, but it's a temporary fix. Not expected to hold. I mean, it's number 2 going on an AN fitting, so it's not the best seal type. But I got these test fitted. So this is what I'm looking at right here. These fittings here, I got a 90. This is say -8 fitting here. It's a 90 and then a 45. I really didn't want to get 290s since these fittings are so close. If I got 290s, this would have bumped right into this one. So I got a 45. I know I could have got another 90 and had the other 90 angled up a little bit so it rose on top, but I like this a little better. So where it just comes out a little wider here, just so they're even when they go out. But this is what it's going to look like. I'll show you guys how to put hose, or how I put the hose on the AN fitting. But that's how we're looking right now. All right, I got my braided hose here. Got the 2 ends here, like this. I'm gonna grab my fitting, and you have 2 ends to your fitting here. You got 1 end for the hose, and the other end for the actual, I guess it would be, in my case, my bung over here. So this one unscrews. This piece unscrews completely off, and once I get it off, I'll show you. That's what it looks like on the other side. And then on this side, the one you take off, this is where you'll insert your hose. And it may be a little tricky or difficult because it's going to be a tight fit to get in there. I'm not sure if you can see in here, but you can see where it's kind of stepped right before it goes through the threads. Right here, I don't know if you see on this side, but you'll get your hose all the way up pretty close to the threads here. So you'll jam it in there. I'm going to see if I can do it real quick, but that's how this is how you put your fittings on here. So you just want to make sure you get all your braided part in there, and then just twist it on. You can kind of see where it's at. Well, not really, but it's kind of dark, but you can't really tell. But you just want to bump it up all the way to the threads, and then you'll feel it when you hit the threads there. So I got it bumped up all the way through the threads here. This is where it gets kind of tricky, because this you'll be inserting into this side here, and then you'll twist it all the way on. It's gonna get harder as you go because the diameter of this is gonna go inside the diameter of the hose, and it's gonna be on snug tight. This is where a vise comes in good, or yeah, vise. I don't have one, so I can't put this in a vise and just twist this on there. So I'm gonna have to do this by hand. So all you do is just shove this in here and start twisting it, and then get it all the way twisted down where it sits like this. And that's all you do to install it. So let me go get this situated where I can actually put this on and show y'all. Alright, so I got my 2 crescent wrenches here. This is all I'm going to use. This is what I've used in the past, and it's worked okay. I know they make AN wrenches specifically for this, but you just gotta be a little careful so you don't scratch the paint off the fitting here. But this is all I really do, and I just tighten this down. This, like I said, a clamp or a vise or something like that would be nice to put this bottom end in, so I don't have to hold the bottom end and try to twist in the top. But you can make do with this. This is fine. You might be here a little bit longer than if you had the vise, but it's one way to get it done without it. So that's basically it. I'm gonna get this end and this end done, and then after this I'll show you how to actually cut the AN hose. Alright, so I finished putting on the fittings. I got a little scratched up there. It slipped a little bit one time. That's what, if you have the vise, it makes it easier so it don't slip like that, but it's alright. There's a little scratch there. Got these on. Since this is about 1 length of hose here, you can see. So I'm gonna cut it down the middle. Well, when I cut AN lines or braided lines like this, they tend to fray when you cut them. So what I do is I just use a little bit of electric tape, not a lot, just one little thing around it, just one little strip around it. You don't need to wind it up a lot, because the thicker you get this, the harder it is. The harder it's gonna make it to put in the AN fitting. So one little layer is good, and I cut right in the middle of it, and that keeps it from fraying, but it also allows me to put the hose in there without too much trouble. So that's how I cut AN fitting hoses, like that. So just one little strip, cut it, and then you put it in there. So I'm gonna do that real quick. I'm not gonna film it because it's just me cutting this, and then I'll show y'all what it looks like. What it looks like with it installed on the actual valve cover. So let me go cut this real quick. Alrighty, got them on both installed. Put zip ties to tie, like to hold them together. Makes it look a little neater. So I got it running, and that's just running straight down to the ground. I know it's not right. That's not how you're supposed to do it, but that's only temporary till I can get my catch can fixed up. And I still haven't decided if I want to put it over here yet. But this is just temporary. Sorry, there's school bus. But this is just temporary until I get my actual catch can. So there's something else I gotta do. So this is how it looks. I like it. Looks a lot better. A lot cleaner than having just one tube come out and the other's capped. Actually looks like a race car now. And I read the comments on the last video. A couple of y'all saying I should get another upper radiator hose, which I looked into it, and I didn't realize how close this actually was to my intake here. But the one they were suggesting makes more like a box around it. Instead of going coming cutting so close, it'd cut this way, come around, and cut back and in. And I'm actually really looking into that because I didn't realize it, like I said, how close this is to the intake coupling here. But that could be a future video, something I buy in the future. That was a good point. Thank y'all for pointing that out. So yeah, got this done. Next thing is to do the wing back there and get this ready. So that's probably the next thing I'll do. Alright, made it to Jason's house. He's behind the camera again. What we're gonna do first before we get the wing on is re-drill these. These holes don't line up. The same width. Now I got new ones, same width, but the holes don't line up. So we're gonna drill those real quick. I'll film us doing that, and then we'll put these together. We'll get this all mocked up, and then we'll throw it on the car. But that's what we're doing right now. So we drilled out 2 holes. They line up good, so that's good. We did a pilot hole and we drilled the other hole in, so we would make sure the hole's straight. Now I think we're gonna put some Loctite on this and then torque these down just so this won't go anywhere. So that's our next step, and then we'll do the same thing with this, and then we'll throw it on the car, and then we'll be done. So that's what we're doing. So it's actually been a couple days since I've finished putting these stands together. I had family emergency I had to go take care of. So where I left off was getting these together. You see them here. So we got both of them. Both the risers on the stands now. Both holes are drilled. They're all assembled. What I gotta do next is put these stands on here and then get ready to mock it up and drill the holes on the trunk. It's gonna be a little difficult since it's only me here right now. I'm gonna try to get it done with just one person, so it's gonna be a little tricky, but I'm gonna get it done. So yeah, let me get these put together and then see if I can get it situated on the trunk without it falling, and then I'll show y'all what it looks like. Alright, so I got it kind of mocked up. Don't mind all this painter's tape holding it together, but this is what she's gonna look like. The risers do give it a little height to it. I like it, but she's still a little off-centered. See right here, the distance between here and here. It's not the same as distance between here and here. So I need to shift over a little bit, but I just got her mounted up just to see how she looks with the risers and everything. But that's how she looks. I like it. It's gonna be a little tricky to actually get this the holes lined up, or the holes marked so I can drill them. But I'm gonna try to get it done. It's kind of a pain to get these in here, but I'm gonna try. But that's how she looks. Let's look from the front side here. That's how she looks. Little side view here. Okay, it took me a minute, but I think I got it all marked up and got the lines where I want to drill the holes at. So it'll be right here and here, and right there and there. So I think I'm pretty good here. They look pretty even, distance-wise from the trunk inward, on the same side, trunk inward. From the rear of the trunk up to the back of the stand, same thing from here and here. So I just did measurements all the way around and got it as close as I could. It's not going to be perfect, and hopefully when I drill the holes and actually mount it, that it will actually look pretty equal. But I know it's not going to be perfect, but I just want it to be straight. But let me go ahead and got the tape down, got my measurements, so let me go ahead and drill it. I'll probably record that, but I always hate drilling the trunks. But let me do that real quick, and we'll see what we get. So before I get any further and start drilling the trunk, I actually forgot to check the underside of the trunk, so where I'm actually drilling through, gotta make sure there's nothing back here, a wire, like any wires or any metal pieces or anything like that I won't be able to get to the studs. But I took the paneling off. You can see right here, took all this paneling off on the back here. I know it's kind of hard to see, I don't have a light with me, but if you can see, there's a gap right here. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can't really see, but you see here's the my motor for the windshield wiper, but right in front of it, there's a little gap where it's just the bare metal, the trunk on the top. And I can actually stick my hand in here, you can see, and I can be able to get a nut or a bolt or whatever on back here. So I'll be able to use the holes on this side. Same thing on this side back here. You can't really see, kind of a little bit, but I can stick my hand in here and put a bolt there on both studs. So it actually worked out pretty good. So I don't have to do any further modification. I don't have to cut any pieces out from here or anything like that. I know, I think on Tyler's wing, I think we had to drill through the part of the trunk because it was like double layer. But on here I don't. I'll be able to stick my hand in here and be able to get a bolt on it. So that's good to go. All right, I made sure all that's good, and now I can drill it. So let me go get the drill and all that, and we'll go drill it. Alright, it's pretty late now, but I finally got the wing on there. That's how she looks. She's all mounted up, bolted in. For these holes here, these are these holes here, 2 on this side, 2 on that side. This is for the Type R wing, or the A-Spec here in the US, whatever you want to call it. And I just filled the holes with, well, I didn't really fill them. I just put the pop rivets, or whatever you want to call these plastic pieces here, where you take a flathead and pop them up. I just put that just to cover it up, just make it a little nicer. I know I'm not going to be able to completely get rid of the holes unless I do some body work, but this will do for now. So yeah, this is what she looks like.
Say Jesus Christ, he's just nice, he just slice. Lord, 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 and mercy. Jesus Christ, he's just nice, he just slice like a Ginsu. Lord and mercy, Jesus Christ, he's just nice, he just slice. Lord, 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 and mercy. Jesus Christ, he's just nice, he just slice like a Ginsu. Lord and mercy, Jesus Christ, he's just nice, he just slice like a been through.
Alright guys, that's it for this episode, or this, whatever you want to call this. I'm not even sure what I'm calling this right now, but got the wing finished. You saw I got my valve cover fittings on. So I'm happy. I'm glad I got this done. This was a chore, let me tell you. Re-clearing it and then mounting it by yourself, it's pretty tough mounting a wing by yourself. So I suggest, if you're mounting a wing like this and you have to drill holes, to have 2 people or someone else to help hold while you mark it up. But I want to shout out Jason for helping me. I want to thank him for helping me clear this, sanding it down, clearing it, and all that. Again, I want to thank y'all for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. And it's not a productive day working on your car unless you draw blood. So I did that while I was trying to mount this wing. But nevertheless, thanks for watching, and subscribe. Be sure to subscribe so you'll be up to date on what I do next with the car. And thanks for watching.
He's just nice, he just slice. Lord, 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 and mercy. Jesus Christ, he's just nice, he just slice like a Ginsu. Lord and